welcome to this Intelligent Briefing. My name is Alex Presley and I'm the editor of Intelligent CIO Europe, and in this Spotlight series we speak to Pascal Buchner, the CIO of the International Air Transport Association, IATA, who tells us about the company's core values and the technology that helps it overcome business challenges. I hope you enjoy.
Hello, so good afternoon. My name is Pascal Buchner. I'm the CIO of IATA, the International Air Transport Association. So IATA is a trade association representing 290 airlines in the world. We are dealing with 100,000 travel agents in the world, and our job is to set all the standards for the commercial civil aviation, and also to act as the clearinghouse for all the indirect sales of tickets by travel agencies.
So please, can you tell us about the core values of IATA and what a good technology posture means for the business?
So, of course, the main value for IATA is about partnership. So we are a trade association. We are representing the industry. And so collaboration and partnership is really the main value. And the objective that we have is clearly the safety of the aviation. So safety, all the aviation industry has a safety culture, and we, IATA, representing this industry, of course, we are trying to push this safety culture everywhere in the world. We are a global organization, so safety has to be in the big country, but also in the small country as well. And passenger has to feel, secure and safe, wherever they are flying to.
And how would you currently describe the state of technology in Europe, and how does this affect the aviation industry?
Wow, I can speak 5 hours about technology, and it will be only the intro. I would say that technology plays an important role in many areas. First, in all the e-commerce part of our industry, so the selling and the management of the tickets, and so the relationship between the passenger and the airline, but also the travel agency with the airport. So technology is playing an important role in order to facilitate a smooth and pleasant customer experience. But technology is playing a big role in the aircraft itself, and also in all, the air traffic management. So without technology, our industry would not exist. So, and of course, we make the difference between IT and OT, operational technology. So all the technology that is also embedded in the aircraft is also a big part of what we're doing. And finally, so technology is also there to facilitate, the transaction and the experience of the customers. For example, at the moment, because of the COVID crisis, we are using technology to facilitate a touchless experience for the passenger at the airport. Mm-hmm. So yes, technology is important everywhere. It's really an opportunity to improve our industry, and actually we are also using technology to reduce our carbon footprint impact on the planet that we are having as well. Mm-hmm. Because we have to become sustainable, and technology will help us to become sustainable.
What are some of the main challenges you face as a business, and how does technology help to overcome these?
So the biggest challenge that we have is that we are a global industry. So we have to reach everybody in the world. We have to reach alignment between all the parties. So for example, when we are talking about safety measure, we have to work with the civil aviation authorities in all the countries. And so when you realize that we are representing about 290 airlines and about 150 countries, so you can understand that it requires a lot of advocacy effort. So yes, we have a global organization like ICAO or like IATA in Europe or the FAA in the US that are helping us. But this organization, they don't have any authority. So everything ends up, at the country level, at the nation level. So which means that we have to deal with everybody. So the diversity of our supply chain, the fact that it's not only airline, that we have to deal with airport, we have to deal with air traffic management system. So the complexity and the spread of all the players in the industry are really the challenge that we have to face. And technology is helping us in terms of communication, in terms of collaboration. So whether it is virtual event, and I can see that at the moment, this has been spreading, even faster than the virus itself. So virtual events, building collaboration and working with people around the world are really, where technology is helping us.
How would you say that you manage change, such as that brought about by COVID-19, as you just mentioned, and how does this enable you to improve in your role?
So yeah, the change is the essence of what we are doing. So, for example, when we introduced 10 years ago the electronic ticket, this is the standard that we are using to give you an electronic boarding pass on your cell phone. It took us only 6 months to define the standard, but it took us, 9 years to implement it, because we had to push the change, across all the industry, and we had to make sure that every player was able to deal with the new standards. So what we have learned is that if we want to push change in the industry, we need to find consensus. We need to find, change case where everybody will find their interest, because when you have a change where some parties are going to lose and only a few parties will win, of course, it is more difficult to push the change across all the industry. So the consensus, it's not negotiation, but trying to identify where are all the stakes, and to try to identify where we have a common interest. This is what we are doing in order, to create, a foundation that will foster, the change.
How is data or technology more generally enabling airlines to plan for the year ahead, given the challenges surrounding travel due to COVID-19?
It's not an easy question. So we, IATA, we are helping them because we are defining the standards that they can use everywhere in order, to implement this technology change. One of the challenges that the airline have is that they cannot implement something different in every country. So this is why that they rely on IATA. So clearly, the work that we are doing by setting up standards is helping airlines to push the change and to have this change implemented the same way in all the airports in the world. This change also has to be accepted by the regulators as well, because sometimes, it will impact what we call airworthiness operations. So we have a lot of regulation that are driving aircraft operation. And so when we are bringing change, we have to make sure also that the regulators are with us, that they can accept the change, and that, of course, the risks brought by the technology are accepted by the regulators.
How far will good quality data allow the industry to respond and survive the crisis, do you think?
Everything is in the quality of the data, because whether we use data to do incident management, so to do the analysis of the incident that are happening, while you're flying an aircraft, it is critical that we receive the right data in order to assess, the procedure, to assess if what are the potential impacts, to assess, the level of safety, the risk. So if for aircraft operation, data integrity is of course the key. Now, when you look at passenger data, of course, compliance with data privacy and the protection of the privacy of the passenger data is also a must. We have seen in the past year, some airlines being fined by regulators because, we had a huge data. So also, the protection of the data for passenger data is also critical. I can give you another example. Since the crisis, the meteo forecast that we have is less accurate. Why? Because the meteo data was shared by the aircraft. Actually, the aircraft, when they are flying, of course, they are sending this meteo data to the ground station, and this is helping everybody to build the meteo forecast. So this is another example where, of course, data is critical also in the airline industry. So our industry is only about data. We are collecting, when an aircraft is flying, we are collecting between 4 and 5 gigabytes of data for each flight. Of course, it depends on the generation of aircraft. And all this data is used, after in order, to make sure that, the safety is still there to try to improve the consumption of fuel also is also optimized thanks to all this data.
How would you say that you work with the wider C-suite to ensure technology is given strategic priority within the organization?
The good news is that more and more of the C members or the member of the C-suite, they are technology savvy, or they understand the benefit of the technology to their operation or to their sales. There is also a big concern in the C-suite about cybersecurity. And now at the board, every board is bringing, of course, the question of cybersecurity. And this is really important. And we need to go back to the board members, to the C-level executive also, and of course to show them that we have implemented all the best practice in terms of cybersecurity. And it's not only about implementing control, it's about people awareness, it's about educating people, implementing the right process, and of course implementing also the right control.